Hello everyone, welcome back to my home here in East Tennessee on this beautiful day in August. And look what I found. I got two Cattleyas. My family and I went shopping for some pots to put my lemon tree and lime trees in, and looked over and here were these beautiful Cattleyas. And so my daughter said, "Oh look Mom, it says it's green, so let me show you what the packaging looked like." And they came in these long plastic sleeves, and this was clipped to the top of it. So I thought that this was what the orchid looked like, but it's not. This is a Brasso Cattleya Memoria Vita Lee Limelight. It's green with a red lip, and it is absolutely gorgeous. When I Googled it and saw the picture of it, I had to have two. So I'm going to be placing one of these, believe it or not, in the medium orchiata bark that my sponsor sent me. Here is their web address. It's the orchidsupply.store.com, and here's their phone number. Don't forget to use my code AMY, A-M-Y, and they will give you a 12% discount, which is awesome. And they also offer free shipping. So for the first time ever, I'm going to put a Cattleya in bark. I can't believe I'm saying that. Okay, and then the other one, let me show you what I'm going to use. The other one, I'm going to use the Spag Moss by Best Grow. The smaller one is going to go in the Spag Moss. The larger one's going to go in the medium orchiata bark. That's the plan. But I don't know what these things are growing in. I have a feeling that they're in very small bark with a lot of perlite. So let's see what these things are actually potted in right now before I make up my mind for sure. So I've got everything ready. I have hydrated my New Zealand sphagnum moss. This is beautiful stuff. I wanted to show you all, out of all of this, the only thing that I didn't want to use was just this much. There is just no waste to that New Zealand spag moss. And then I have my bark that I'm going to use with the larger one, and then I'm going to top this moss with this bark. It keeps things from going green and algae on me, so that's a really good thing in my very humid climate. Okay, so I've watered both of these very, very well. I need to go ahead and get these in new homes because here's a new cane, here's a new cane, and here's a new cane. And what's going to happen is before long, these are going to start growing roots from them. And I want to make sure that I get them in new homes before those canes get any bigger. Plus, I'm really not sure what's in here. What? Okay, I've never said, well, that's like non-dissolvable packing peanuts. Isn't that smart? Yes. Okay, well that's good. Okay, I'm going to very carefully, I'm going to leave that one on there. How about that? Hey, some styrofoam to keep things light and airy. And honestly, this feels like a soil mix. Oh my gosh, yeah. This would not have done very well here in my area. So I'm glad but on the other hand, it was a free draining mix. So that's good. And you know what I just realized? I don't have my scissors ready. You know how I tell y'all to be prepared? Well, after I get this one freed from all of this soil and perlite, I will go and sterilize my scissors, but for right now, let's just keep doing. But these roots look pretty good. But I'm going to put this smaller one in the spag moss. The humidity here is still very high. It has been very high. We've had 60 inches of rain so far this year, and we've had rain a lot this summer. Thank goodness we haven't had any in the last few days. But I don't want to put an orchid right now in a great big pot of New Zealand sphagnum moss. And I am probably going to squeeze a lot of the moisture out of that moss before I put it in here. The other Cattleya has like 5 new growths, and it needs to be in a larger pot than what I'm going to use with this one. So that's my thought process behind that. Okay, I'm going to work with this and just continue to loosen this up, and I'll be right back. And I'm just going to save you all from having to see me try to pry all of this off of the roots. You can't pry all this stuff off of the roots anyway. I've got both of them soaking right now. This was in, okay, on the bottom, the really, really good thing, styrofoam cubes. Very, very good idea. But this is large fir bark, some small bark, some chunky perlite, and potting soil. Yeah, so maybe this is some kind of a starter mix that they use that gets the roots to growing, you know, but if I had kept this in this mix here in East Tennessee for very long, I would have had a big mess. So I'm so glad that I went ahead and took these out of this mix. Just to show you, this is what I soaked off like the second time. Just dirt just came off of the roots. There's some bark that's stuck to the roots. Let me show you. Okay, here's the roots. I've just got them soaking in some warm reverse osmosis water so that I can get the dirt off of there. If I'd known that this was actually dirt, I would have actually let the medium dry out. When you're repotting in bark, you want it to be wet so that the roots will be nice and pliable. And probably I did the right thing, come to think of it. I'm so happy that I went ahead and found out what these were growing in. It would have caused me a lot of trouble. Yesterday when I checked on them, there was some powdery mildew that was actually growing on the tops of these roots, and I thought, oh goodness, I know it's been humid here, but that's the reason why we grow orchids in bark and in moss, or at least in my environment. I have to. I'm going more and more towards bark because our humidity for the past few months has been between 60 to 70% here. And so, you know, you put orchids down in something that retains a lot of moisture, and they can start rotting. Yes. Okay, so I'm going to officially change the name of this video pre-repotting these 2 Cattleyas. Boy, I was all ready. I thought I knew what I was doing. No, I did not. I thought that this being the larger plant with 5 new growths on it, I figured that would be the bigger root system, and I was wrong. This one has the bigger root system. So I'm going to be figuring out what size pots I'm going to need. I'm going to be packing the moss in there very loosely. And yeah, and this is what I'm going to be doing for this video. I really thought this was going to go easy. I've been into this now for an hour. Remember the video that I did the other day, when you start getting tired and frustrated, just step away from the plants. Yeah, go do something happy. I'm going to go do something happy now because this has taken a lot longer than what I thought it was going to. This is going to be one that I'm going to do over the course of a few days. So I will show you how I'm going to put these in moss in a couple of days. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope this has helped you. See, this happens to everybody. This is just what repotting an orchid is like sometimes. But before I let you go, before I end this video, this really funny video, I'd love to say the blessing over you, your families, and your plants. May the Lord bless you and keep you. Make His face shine upon you and be gracious to you. May the Lord turn His face toward you and give you His peace. You all make it a great day. I'll keep you posted, and we'll talk to you soon.